Hey guys, what is up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another Marvel Legends figure review, and today we're taking a look at this Marvel Legends 80 Years Punisher figure. And I mean, I'm really excited for this one. I just got him. I got him from The Entertainer, which is a shop I've never ordered from before, but they came through, got him for a good price. I've seen this guy for a lot more selling on eBay and the likes of Amazon, so definitely happy with the price I got him for, and I'm excited to take a look at him. The Punisher is such a cool dude. He's such a fantastic character. He's probably the most brutal character in the Marvel Universe. I don't think that's up for debate. I mean, you've got Deadpool and a lot of other characters who you could describe it as brutal, but none who come close to the Punisher. Getting this figure really reminded me of the PS2 game, which I don't have anymore, and I do have the PS2 hooked up in my room, and I'm really tempted to get the game again, because if you haven't played the Punisher on PS2, you're missing out. That game is incredible. It was way ahead of its time, and it really captured the character of the Punisher so well. I mean, it was brutal. I've said brutal a lot because that is how you describe the Punisher. This game was immense. It was really hardcore and really fun to play as well. Of course, now we have the Punisher Netflix character who I've seen in Daredevil, but I've not yet watched the Punisher TV show, but I do plan on it. I think it will be a good watch, and I've heard good things from it. Without further ado, let's get into this figure, check it out, see what's going on, and as we always do on the channel, let's look at the box first. So, we have Marvel 80 Years up at the top here, which I'll be honest, when I got this figure, I didn't realise it was an 80 Years figure. I have the Marvel Iron Man 80 Years figure, and I'm really chuffed with that figure. I think it's awesome. So I'm pleased to get another one of these 80 Years figures. We have the Punisher logo at the top here, which I think is really cool. Really like the Punisher logo. Marvel Legends series, display box, and then the Punisher at the bottom here, as well as a wee Hasbro logo. We've got a great picture of the Punisher on the side here. Really like that, really like this image. I think it's a great image. And it's just the same on the other side. Turn it on to the back here. Another great product image. So you can see a wee pose, you could get the figure in, and then a wee bio as well. So if you want to read that, just hit that pause button. So really like the box, really cool images on there, but let's get to the figure. Let's get this guy out of the packaging. So here we have Punisher out of the box, and he comes with a fair few accessories, an alternative head. I would have just straight away preferred if he came with maybe a knife, just a small hunting knife or machete, like something like that, just a bladed weapon. But we get 3 guns, which isn't the worst. Something I will just say kind of straight away as well is you've got all these holsters, and you know he's got ammo in there. He's got a pistol in here, and you can't take that pistol out, and if you try and get that pistol out, you can sort of see here, that peg is just going to pop out and the belt's going to come apart, and you'll have to pop it back in. So that's kind of annoying. You can see he's got all these knife sheaths on the back here, which is why I kind of wish we got a knife. And I might have to go back on my word on what I said in the movie Deadpool figure review that I did on this channel, where I was talking about a lot of people weren't a fan of having the holstered guns and you can't take the guns out. In that video I said I didn't really mind, but when I look at this figure, I do mind. I do wish you could take that gun out the holster, and I wish there was a holster for this gun here. There isn't, and you know, this is just going to be loose, and yeah, so it isn't the worst situation, but I mean, at least have a holster to put this gun in, or also be able to take the gun out that holster. It does seem to be a recurring problem with these figures. I say problem, but as I said, it's not a huge deal, just a wee gripe that I've picked up on. But looking at this gun, let's take a look at the accessories. I think it looks really good. Really nice sculpted detail there in the handle. The colours look great, goes with the paint of the actual character as well. So really like this pistol, and I do need more pistol accessories. Got this other gun, all similar colour schemes. This one looks like an absolute baddie. That's defo a grenade launcher there in the front. A noob tube. That's going to do some damage. So yeah, really like this gun too. And then you've got this big sniper. I think that also looks awesome. I don't think I have any sniper rifles. Maybe I've got one with the John Wick figure, but don't recall. So I think that's really cool. Maybe the scope could have done with a wee bit more detail. Like maybe put a sticker on there or something, make it look like you can actually look through it. But I think in terms of the sculpt, this looks great. Reminds me of Call of Duty or something, but really cool sniper here. I like that sculpt, just maybe a wee sticker of that in the scope. Let's look at the alternative head sculpt, and I really can't decide which head sculpt I prefer. I really like them both. I think this is more like your classic Punisher look. I don't recall seeing him with the face paint overly much, but I really do like that face paint look with the Punisher logo painted on, or Punisher face paint I suppose. I think that looks really awesome, and I don't know what one that I'm going to keep on the figure. Could happily display with both, so I really like both those head sculpts there. Taking a look at the rest of the figure, he's got, I don't know what sort of jacket you would say this is, if it's a leather jacket, or we'll just go with a hunting jacket for now. And then on the inside, that Punisher logo once again, and I love the Punisher logo. I think it looks awesome. So definitely a fan of getting a lot of Punisher logos with this figure. And I really like those camo pants as well, the camo trousers. I went all American there, camo pants. But yeah, they look fantastic. I want a pair of those myself now that I see these. And it's all around the back of the figure. I think the painting so far looks good. Missing a wee spot here on the head. There is a few wee dots in the head that flesh tone's coming through, but not too big a deal. I do like this belt, as I kind of said. The wee notch thing's kind of annoying. I don't know why that needs to be there, and they couldn't have just kept the belt on. I suppose it's optional if you want to take the belt off. I suppose that's what they went for, but why would you want to take his belt off with all the grenades and an extra gun and things? It just adds to that heavy arsenal that the Punisher always carries. Already looked a wee bit at this. Yeah, I just really like this. I think the boots look great. Really like these camo trousers. And there's nothing wrong with the jacket. I kind of wish, I mean, you'd have to make a whole new figure, I suppose, but I wish you could kind of take this jacket bit off and it would just be the shirt showing. You just keep the black arms. It could be a long sleeve shirt. Keep his gloves on as well. But I think it looks great, yeah. Really happy with that there. And just in terms of the paint, I wasn't sure if I kind of missed anything here. His eyebrow, I don't know if it's kind of meant to be like that. Yeah, he's got a wee kind of chip there in his eyebrow. And you can, I mean, yeah, I think the paint's good. He's actually got blue throughout the hair. You can see it there. I think that looks great as well. So in terms of paint and sculpt, no problems at all. I think this looks a really cool figure. So as we do on the channel, let's get him standing next to some other characters. And with me mentioning the PS2 Punisher game, I wanted to just take a look at what this Punisher looks like next to some of those characters that featured in the PS2 Punisher game. So here we have Punisher standing next to Black Widow. This is the only Black Widow figure I have, and it is a movie figure. So you'd expect it to look a wee bit out of place next to this more comic looking Punisher, but actually it doesn't. I'm not sure if it's maybe the head sculpt, so let's swap the heads over and have another wee look. Holy moly guys, I had to use brute Punisher force to get that head on there. That was really difficult getting that head sculpt on. But we got there in the end. It didn't actually take too long, but you really have to force that head sculpt on there. And once again, I actually still think these two work together. This is an older movie figure, I'm not sure how it would hold up against one of the newer looking figures, but yeah, these characters look great next to one another. And here we have the Punisher standing next to your average comic Spidey Marvel Legends. You can see they're standing roughly the same height, and I just wanted to put these guys next to each other because there's an epic cutscene with the Punisher and Spider-Man. It's really great. You need to check it out if you've not seen it. And here is Punisher next to Daredevil. Of course, I couldn't not compare these two guys, and I think they look great together. Both these dark colours working well. If these guys were out on a mission under the darkness of nighttime, it would look fantastic. Looking at the Spider-Man next to the Punisher, perhaps the Spider-Man colours were just a bit too bright, but these guys I think work really well together. So let's look at the Punisher's articulation. I'll just keep this head sculpt on just now, and let's actually just take a closer look. I'm not sure if I mentioned that I think now that this head sculpt's on the figure, I do actually prefer this head sculpt just a tad. But I really like the bandana and that as well. Didn't really get a good look at that. So yeah, really cool head sculpt. Both are really cool. So the Punisher can look all the way up, as you can see there. He's looking right up into the sky, and let's get him moving down. There we go. Really stiff joint there. He is just out the box, so I don't expect it to be loose. You can look to his right, his left, and you can also rotate his head all the way around on some exorcism stuff. You can get his arm that far up, so it's not moving any further than that. Let's give it another wee try. That's about as far as it's going to go. And backwards, forwards, and all the way around. You can get his arm moving about that far out the way, and he's got double jointed elbows, so his arm's going to move in about that much. You can also move his wrist backwards and forwards and rotate it around. And it is just the same in the other arm here. He's got this articulated area just underneath the chest, so you can get him crunched that far forward, not overly much, but he moves a fair bit back. He's got articulation at the waist, and I think it is just restricted a wee bit with this belt here, which is actually also quite tricky to move around with the jacket. And once again, I've just, as you can see, unpopped it. So let's pop that back in. I can see that being a nuisance with this figure, but we shall keep going. You can kick forward that much. He's going backwards about that much. Can kick to the side about that much. He's got upper thigh swivel, and he's also got a double jointed knee. So let's get his foot all the way back to his butt there, all the way back down. There we go. And he's got ankle pivot, doesn't rotate at the calf, and you can move those feet backwards and forwards as well. And of course it is just the same in this leg here. And there we have it, guys. That was a closer look at this 80 years Marvel Legends Punisher, and I'm really happy with it. I know I did go over a few things that I might have not liked, but overall I give this figure about a 9 out of 10, especially at the price I picked this up at. I really like it. I think the sculpt's great. I really like those trousers. I really like the Punisher logo in the middle here. The jacket, I'm not necessarily sure it was needed. We could have just maybe had it as a long sleeve shirt. Maybe it's a pair of alternative hands without the gloved look, some bare hands. But I really like the two head sculpts. Those head sculpts look great. I love the guns that it comes with. As I mentioned, maybe a knife or something that would have just been that wee bit extra to top this figure off. Great articulation, great sculpt, great paint. Yeah, I'm really happy with this figure. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, just smash that like button. And while you're at it, guys, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Helps me out a lot, and it'll keep you updated with future videos. I'm trying to post every Tuesday and Friday, with the optional video on a Thursday optional. I mean, every video is optional, but a wee extra video on a Thursday. I'll also leave the link to my Instagram down in the description below. I try and post on there every day with figures like these from my collection. Once again guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch yous on the flip flop later. Cheers.